energy when I walk in the building. Turn up to the max.
Sheeraz is the best young prospect we have in the UK.
I genuinely do think he will go all the way.
Capital, I'm about to make a killing. Stars are aligned.
He's ready to go. Referee looks. He goes down.
Anyone who's got the world title, put me in with them.
I'ma be here for a while. Haters wait your turn in line.
And Lennox Clarke, he was on a mission. That is the performance of his career.
That was a good shot from Heffron there.
Heffron knows it. He knows that he's stunned him.
Young Dennis is on there too. He's in a tough fight. He's been stepped up.
I know I'm gonna be a world champion. I don't think I know.
In my head, I could go all the way.
Has to go down as an impressive win for Ryan Garner, getting the stoppage.
Now it's time that I show the world what a king is.
Yes, welcome back to BT Sports Studio. We were here yesterday for the press conference and we're here today for the weigh-in. It's a big fight night, Saturday night, and it makes sense to have a British middleweight champion with me. Denzel Bentley, how are you, mate?
I'm good, man. How you been?
I'm good. I'm surprised you didn't bring the belt. You take it sort of everywhere you go. I've seen on your Insta.
Yeah, I wasn't asked, so I just thought I'd leave it in my hand today. I was in the gym training, so I thought, you know, it might be a bit too heavy to carry.
How's life?
Life's good, man. Life's good.
Been a while, a couple of months now since you've picked up the belt.
Yes, and I'm a bit tuned to fight again, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple of months. Good night. I still get stopped for it and, you know, held up for it and stuff, so it's good.
First time was so nice.
Had to do it twice.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew you'd finish off the bars. How do you reflect on that night? Because that was this time when you won the British title. There were fans there,
yeah.
Right? This time your boys were there, your family were there, and I could see you were taking it in. How do you reflect on that night?
No, it was a good night. It was a very good night, especially with the crowd there.
Yeah.
It was a good fight, so it deserved the crowd, of course. Obviously, I had so many fights during lockdown, so it was
You're
nice
like
to be in front of a crowd.
active boxer in lockdown,
I think I
weren't
was
you?
still. Even when I got back out with a crowd, that felt odd. So I was like, oh. So, but with this time, it was just good. Everyone was there. After I'd won it, I could turn around and celebrate with my family and friends and stuff, and it was good. It was much better than the first time, if I'm being honest.
So the first time was so nice, you had to do it twice. It makes sense. The bars make sense. It looked like you knocked him down in the fight as well, and you didn't get called.
I know.
Were you a bit frustrated when you watched it back, or were you just sheer jubilation?
No, because that wasn't you know, the reason why the result went the other way or whatever. If it was that reason, I'd have been a bit upset. But I still got the decision. I know I knocked him down. He knows he got knocked down. And I guess all the officials that watched it back realised it was a knockdown. So that's all right. Can add that knockdown to my list.
So what happens next with Denzel Bentley? Because I saw you at the office the other day. You
had,
yeah. Ellis Sorrow was there, new signing.
Yes.
And loads of Peacock boys, including some 7-foot giant. Who's that, by the way?
Lucian.
Talk to me about Lucian just briefly. Who is this
heavyweight guy coming down. Can't remember what country he's from, but Eastern European.
Eastern European heavyweight.
Yeah. Big guy, strong guy. I think he'd be exciting when he's out next.
Yeah, I'd imagine Frank will probably sign him soon, so little teaser there. But what was your meeting about? How did it all go with Frank?
No, it was good. It was well. Just let me know I'll be out again in September. Going to keep me active, as you know they always do. And yeah, I'm just happy being active. Happy that I'm out in September again. So like, even though the September, it's not that far, to be honest.
No.
But just to know you got a date, it makes everything easier to do, especially, you know, in the gym. And I'm in the gym every day, so in the gym without a date, I just feel like I'm just in the gym without a date. Do you know what I mean? So now that I've got a date, I'm in the gym for a reason. If that makes sense.
So you definitely need that then, because like sometimes fighters are just always in the gym, you know, etc., and sometimes fighters really need that date so they can focus their training. You're one of those sorts.
Yeah,
of
I'm always in the gym anyway. Like, Martin won't let us out of there, so
locks
I'm always
the
in the
doors.
gym anyway. But I just like I love knowing I've got a date. It's like it's something to work towards. You know what I mean? It just makes it easier to train and work out and to do what I need to do in the gym. Not that I don't do it anyway, but it just makes it easier because you know you're working towards something.
So what do we think is next then? What do you want to do? Because you've got that British title again.
Yeah.
There's people who want that British title. I've seen Tyler Denny. He started mentioning your name as well. People want it, of course, but I'm sure you want to move on as well.
No, I definitely want to move on, but obviously if the opportunity doesn't present itself, I've still got the British. It's not like I'm vacating or anything. So anyone that, you know, wants a shot at it, get in contact and stop talking online and on Twitter and stuff like that. That's what jars me really. If you want to get a fight on, tell your team to contact my team and we'll see if it makes sense, you know what I mean? But I just want to go international route. I want a bit more exposure internationally. I'm ranked with WBO. I like to be ranked with the other governing bodies. So that's the route I would like to take. But like I said, if the opportunity presents itself, I take it. If it doesn't, I've still got my British title to defend.
Well, as we said, you're ranked with the WBO.
Yes.
A bit of confusion as to what's happening with that belt, because Demetrius Andrade, he's the WBO World Middleweight Champion.
Yeah.
He was meant to go up super middleweight and fight Zach Parker.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like that fight's going to happen anytime soon. Janibek became the interim middleweight champion. Where do you fit into this picture, and are you just ready to go with anyone?
I'd love that Janibek fight, and I think I've said that before. Dangerous fighter, but that's what makes it, you know, that kind of more thrilling. That, okay, switch on Dens, let's see if we can do this. I believe in myself, I believe in my abilities. I'd love to fight all them top guys. I think Andrade, when he decides what he wants to do, the division will either open up or he's going to be on, you know, he's going to have a target behind his back because people do want that world title. At some point, he's going to have to fight Janibek if he's holding on to that title, and then obviously they're going to have to, you know, either fight or he's going to vacate and he's going to have to fight someone. So I just want to keep stepping up in them rankings so I'm there by the time, you know, the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, well, let's see how you get on with that. You're very well placed. We keep things moving here at the weigh-in. So what we're going to do is, you're going to move over a little bit. I'm going to move over a little bit, just over to the left, and I'm going to bring in an Olympic youth gold medalist, Carol Atoma. Jump in, Carol, please.
That's good, bro.
How you doing?
Right.
Look at that. Just so easy. Just transitions so well there.
Effortless, I call it. Effortless.
You see Frank yesterday with Ellis Zorro, by the way. Just like shoulders. And
No, I didn't. I saw the little bits of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, how you feeling? Big weigh-in day again. Are you trying to make 175 for a fight which is non-championship again?
No, like not making 175. However, as close to it as possible. So I'm not going to be over by loads anyway. But yeah, like I said before, just getting my body used to that transition and making sure that it feels comfortable getting there.
This is fight number 8 now for you as well. Does it feel a lot different to what it did when you first started out?
It's crazy because I was thinking about it the other day, like how December 2020 was the first fight, and now it's going to be 2 years this year, and how quick everything's gone. It's like bam. So I'm enjoying the process. I'm learning and making sure I keep in this state of mind where always learning. Because when I'm always learning, I can't take a step back, only keep going forward. And that's what me and our team intend on doing, keep going forward.
I see you nodding along, Denzel. It talks a good game, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. I think he's got the right mindset on him as well, and I think he's a good fighter as well. I like the way he fights. I like his style. I like the way he handles himself. So it's good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's a nice moment. Look, Carol, we're gonna let you go. Crack on with the weigh-in, and I'm sure we'll chat to you again very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
That's one, bro.
Yeah. Yes, good. Fist bumps for days. Let's talk about Hamzah Sheeraz.
Yes, Hamzah Sheeraz.
Headlining Saturday night.
Good.
Is he any good?
Yeah, of course he is. What would he be headlining?
I don't know. Talk to me. Yeah, talk to
no,
me.
He is,
what do you think of him as a?
No, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's built himself to a position where he's able to headline. Of course, he's got a big following, got a big fan base. So it's kind of easy to push him into that spotlight. He's got a good demeanour about himself. He dresses well, as you always compliment him on. You've seen him at the press conferences and stuff.
Yeah, you're dressing well as well.
I'm all right. It's different types
drip.
of dressing. Yeah,
different drip.
Yeah. But yeah. So he's. I think it's good. He's headlining. I think it's good. I think it will get people to see him more, his personality, the way he fights, and you'd get to know whether people are actually coming out for him, and he gets to become his own sort of star.
Middleweight.
Yes, middleweight.
You're a middleweight.
Yes, I am.
Your paths will probably cross one day.
No, definitely, most definitely. I think me and a lot of middleweights in the country, I always see it as we're going to fight one day, even if we don't. Especially those who are in the top 5, maybe top 7. I always feel like, yeah, there's a possibility we can fight one day. We're all there, we're all at the same level, we're all around that. In terms of achievements at that domestic kind of scene, whether we're better or not, we don't know until we get in there. So I feel like, yeah, all of you lot are a target really, and I'm a target to them as well. So You know, I'm not oblivious to that.
So are you keeping an eye on him this weekend as a potential opponent? Obviously, you're going to see him weigh in today. Does it come to the point now, because he's entered your division, where you do start sizing him up just a little bit?
I'll be watching on Saturday more as a fan than as a potential opponent, because I still do feel like, not that he's not a good fighter, but he hasn't achieved what I've achieved in the sport. So there's no need, I'm not chasing him, but I do understand that he could be chasing me, because I've got the British title if he wants to go for that. So I will be keeping an eye on people in front of me, but I will also be keeping an eye on the guys behind me that are creeping up, looking for an opportunity to take food off my plate, essentially. So I'll be watching it in that sense, yeah.
How would a fight between you and him play out?
I'm going to beat him. But it'll be a good fight. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it could go either way. No, anyone you ask me, I come out on top.
Of course,
yeah,
of course.
Exactly.
But where are your attributes better than his? Where are your strengths in that fight?
We'd have to get in there and see, you know what I mean? Like, there's no point of saying, I've got this, I've got that. I've got knockouts, he's got knockouts. He's got a good jab, I've got a good jab. He's got good defense. Maybe I can work on mine. But do you know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is, you know what I mean? There's no point of saying, oh, I do this and I do that. Listen, we got to get in there. I could say I got more power, but if I can't land on him, it doesn't mean anything. He could say he's got a good jab, but if he can't land that jab, it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? So you just have to look forward to, you know, making that fight happen when we cross that line, and I'll be looking forward to see who comes out on top as well. I think I would. Well, I feel like I would. I know I would, but then again, it's boxing. Nothing's certain, nothing's for sure.
Well, that is boxing. He's got a tough test, it looks like, this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know much about Torres, to be honest. I didn't bother searching him up or seeing what he's done or looking at his style, because he's not someone I'm fighting. But I do know, I have heard, obviously, he drew to David Benavidez.
Jose Benavidez, the smaller one.
Oh, Jose, sorry,
Yeah.
David's the 168
David's
one.
the
Yeah,
168,
my bad.
yeah.
Jose Benavidez. But I don't really take too much into that, because Jose Benavidez is originally a 140 pounder. Took his first loss at 147 and was obviously making a comeback fight against this guy. So I don't know what type of shape he was in. I haven't seen the fight. I don't know anything about the fight. I don't know. So I don't really take too much into that. It just could have been one of them things where he thought this was meant to be a walk in the park, and Torres took this as his world championship fight, and obviously boxed his best that day and ended up getting a draw. So I don't take too much into all them things there, because I haven't seen it myself.
Well, he seems like, I mean, the first thing Benavidez said after that fight was, whilst he was getting booed, by the way, by the crowd after getting the draw, the first thing he said was he was running all night. The guy was running, which tells me that the guy's a bit of a boxer.
Okay. I don't really like that running excuse, because it's boxing. You can't, like, how far can you run? You're in the ring. Do you know what I mean? He's got to do better to know how to close off the ring and get your shots off when you need to. But hey, that's his problem. I've been looking forward to see how he handles this guy. Like I said, I know nothing about him. I don't even know his record, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah. But you know, the way he's being hacked, it seems like it'd be a good fight.
Talk to me about some of the undercard. I mean, you have a bit of an interest, I'm sure, in Mark Heffron against Lennox Clarke.
Yeah.
You've beaten Mark Heffron, you've drawn with Mark Heffron. How do you see him getting on against Lennox Clarke up at super middleweight?
I think it's a good fight. When I saw this fight, that's what really made me come to the show, if I'm being honest.
Really?
I thought that's going to be a fight. I think see whoever gets off what they need to get off first. Like, if Mark has decided to go in there, and I feel like Mark's got more attributes than Lennox. I ain't seen much of Lennox, but I just know he's very physical and very strong, and he can bang. Mark is very physical and very strong as well, but that was at middleweight. I don't know how that weight holds up at super middle. He might carry it with him, and if he does, that's a good thing. But I don't think he should get into any exchanges early with Clarke. But I think if he does try to box him and then step on it late, I don't know what Clarke's tank's like. I think he can get him out there essentially. But I think I'm going to slide with Mark just because I've seen more of him, and I think he has more to him. But it's anyone's fight.
Well, let's bring in Mark Heffron's trainer, reunited, Joe Gallagher.
Yeah, good. I'm good, thank you. Yes, good to see you.
Joe, welcome back. Good to see you.
Stirred in the pot again.
I don't know.
What he's like.
Yesterday at the press, I'm like, listen, leave them alone. They don't get paid for this. They get paid Saturday night for that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dev wants overtime out of them, doesn't he?
I'm trying. Look, I asked Denzel who he believes is going to win out of your man Mark Heffron and Lennox Clarke, and he's just siding with your man.
Yeah,
Good decision.
Interview the other week. Yeah. Listen, it's one of them fights. It's a 50-50 pick 'em fight, isn't it? You've got to look at Lennox Clarke. I said to you yesterday, you can't not help but admire what he's achieved from coming from a white-collar background to become British and Commonwealth champion. There's enough emphasis put on these days on the prestige Lonsdale belt when it's a great honour to do that, and it's great for him. Yeah, exactly. And like you say, he's been up and down to get there, and he's here now, and to be that and have that champion. Mark, this is third time of asking now. He's come back up to super-middleweight. You'll see him on the scales today. He looks great, and it's mad because I went to Coventry a few weeks ago to watch Tyler Denny out of their camp, and just to watch the camp, watch him, how he formed, and he had a good win, and he had to rough the kid out of it to get the win. And I just thought the tails are up here now, there's confidence, but that'll be a similar thing that they'll try and do with Mark. He's been sparring Felix Cash, they've been working on speed, they've been working on defence. Mark's had good sparring, he sparred all big light heavyweights, and it's a real good fight. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd said Lennox Clarke. It is that fight. You ask 100 people and they'll go 50-50. Well, I've seen Boxing News, it's set up right. Boxing News have picked Lennox, the bookies have got Lennox. That's my type of fight.
You love going in with the underdog. We've seen that over the years. What's the mindset of Mark Heffron heading into this fight? Because just from what I've noticed, it felt like at the press conference yesterday, and obviously I'm trying to stir it up, he seemed a bit subdued. Is that fair?
I wouldn't say subdued. Mark isn't the best. You know what it's like as well, Denzel. With this, you get better at it. Yeah. Mark isn't the best in front of a camera when you're at the high stage and you've got these cameras looking. All of a sudden, you choke up and you come off and you go, oh, why was I like that? It isn't really, because I've said to Mark, listen, just be crawler for the week. Be nice. Don't say nothing. And listen, Lennox, we know Lennox, he likes the angst. You've seen it with Willie Hutchinson. You've seen it with their own. He likes that. He needs that. Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? You're here, just be Crawler, be Usyk, be Lomachenko, just be nice. All the best fighters in the world, they don't throw tables about, just turn up, and they don't do the Denzel. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen Canelo or a Triple G. Do you know what I mean? It's just, they're just going there and they're fist talking, and that's all you need to do Saturday night. There's a lot of people writing you off, but it's up to you to go in there, so say nothing, because you've just got to waste energy and time and space there, and words don't win fights, actions do, and that's what will be Saturday night.
To be fair, Denzel, I do remember your press conferences with Mark Heffron, and it was kind of the same sort of vibe, really.
Yeah, you were trying to stir it up. But I'm just me, and I don't need that kind of back and forth. Yeah, like to be like, oh, I'm up for it now. I'm up for it anyway. There's a title on the line, my career's on the line. I have to be on it anyway. So I don't think fighters should feel like they need to do any extras to, unless they need to. Do you know what I mean? But I don't need to do that to put comfort myself, and I don't think he needed to do that. So it just kind of gelled. We were just like, we had a bit back and forth on Twitter, but that's different. Yeah. But of course, if we're face to face, it's not needed. It's not needed.
And we understand, like Dev and BT and Frank, they need to sell the fight, and everything else on the views and everything else. So if they want tables flipping, they've got to pay that extra money. Denzel, do you know what I mean?
Exactly that.
Joe, we're going to let you go, but before we do, prediction: what's going to happen?
Mark Heffron win. That's it. Whether it be knockout early, points late, we've prepared for everything, and Mark's ready to go. Lennox Clarke's ready to go. It's a great fight, but I'm usually confident in Mark pulling off this. We've not come here to just lie down. We've come here, and I believe what you put in, you get out in the sport, and it's all about timing, and this is Mark's timing.
Good luck.
Cheers, thank you very much. Cheers.
Good luck, John. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you too, man.
Well, we keep it moving, and there is a knockout merchant who's about to join us on the stream. I can see him. I've made eyes with him. You're not going to knock me out, are you, Sam? How are you?
I thought I got through unscathed. That's why I hid in the corner.
Looking good, mate. How's life?
Yeah, no, it's all right. At the minute, I ain't had to make weight for today, so I'm a bit happy. So it's all right. But yeah, it's good. I had a little injury a few weeks back, but that's mended all right. So yeah, life is good. Sun's shining.
You're always up to no good, and I texted you the other day saying, like, oh, can you, put something out? Mark Chamberlain's fighting. Maybe we can stir it up a little bit. And you was like, sorry, mate, I'm just climbing Ben Nevis.
Yeah, well, I've got a bit. I know it's mad, isn't it? No, I've got a bit of time off, and I thought if I drive all the way up to Scotland again, yeah, I've got to do it. And then we stopped off and done Scarfield Pike on the way home. So I'm using my time off wisely.
Your brother, Sean Noakes, fight number 2 for him on Saturday night. What can we expect from Sean?
Yeah, I think he's got a tough opponent, isn't he, with that MJO. I think it'll be hard for him to get the stoppage, but I reckon he's going to look class like he did the time before and get a shutout points win, I reckon.
How'd you get on with Sean?
How do we get on? Oh, we get on very well. I see that little interview he done with you the other day, though, didn't he? He could have smashed my face in. But as I said, ask me the same question, yeah? Look at the confidence in my face. It ain't happening. No chance, mate. But it's his weekend. It's about him, so I'll let him have that. Well, next time we do an interview, Deb, I'll back it out, mate. Don't you worry. You ask me that same question, mate.
Denzel, you got brothers as well. Do you threaten to punch their head in?
Nah, I don't. I think I'm the only boxer out of my siblings, so they just kind of.
Oh, we've been like it's everything. It's like, I can throw further than you. I can run for everything. We just like it.
Yeah, no. When I was younger, I was like that with my older brother, but now.
Yeah, no, we ain't grown out of that. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think we ever will.
It's because he's still a boxer. That's why.
No, that's
if he wasn't, he'd be like, alright, you know what?
Everyone's all comparing us to each other, and we as well. So it's just getting even worse, if anything.
What's happening with you then? I mean, we what you now 9-0 with 9 knockouts, some record. Denzel.
He's gonna be the only guy apart from Better Be with a 100% KO ratio. So
I'm trying, boys. I'm trying. I'd like it to keep going. I mean, obviously, I said about getting to 10, and obviously we're close to doing it the other day. But unfortunately, I broke my thumb on Archie Sharp's head. But oh, don't, boys. Honestly, it was a nightmare. I had 2 weeks just sitting home feeling sorry for myself, stuffing me face, and I know, poor me, mate. But I'm back now. I'm all right. Life is good again.
Yeah, that's good.
Hopefully get out September, October time, so I'm keeping fit, climbing mountains as you do, you know what I mean? So just looking forward to getting back in there.
Are you Maystone's answer to Artur Beterbiev?
God, it's got a little ring to it, that is. I think I might be. I think I could be England's answer. No, not about Mason.
Well, look, so how do you see the main event playing out on Saturday night? Hamzah Sheeraz, Francisco Torres. Have you done any sort of looking into Torres at all?
Oh, to be fair, I've not really heard of him. I'm not that up to date with current fighters, but I'm sure Hamzah will do the job. I mean, he's been looking class in every other outing, but I mean, I'm looking forward to the Nick Ball fight. I mean, after his last performance, I mean, I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah. And the Heffron Clarke, that's going to be a good fight as well, because that Clarke always comes to have a good tear up, doesn't he? So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good show.
And what about your man Dennis? Dennis is in the gym with you. It's a bit of a step up this time, right? He's going up to featherweight. James Beach, we know he comes to fight. How's he been looking? He says he's been doing all sorts in sparring.
Yeah, no, you know, Dennis, he's always looking class. I mean, but as I said, I mean, James, he ain't no pushover. I said, like, if Dennis stops his kid, it's a big statement to make. So, I mean, we'll see tomorrow.
We shall see. And Haribo's, I believe, are going to be shared around the changing room.
He loves them Haribo's, man. I think he's clutching for a little sponsor there, isn't he?
Yeah. He's tagging them in every time now as well.
Yeah, no, I'm more of a chocolate man than a sweet man anyway, so.
Sam, lovely speaking to you, and nice good luck this weekend with you and your man.
Yeah, thanks a lot, mate. Whoa, you went for. We're still doing the spuds now. I thought that was all done and dusted.
Elbows. Someone did an elbow with me the other day. Cheers to Sam Noakes. Yeah, someone did an elbow with me. Apparently, like COVID's coming back now, so he like elbowed me up and that. But you know,
that's how they're comfortable. Then go for it, man.
But I wish I could just like fist bump, bang, and you're done. But
yeah, it's nice and easy, isn't it?
Easy.
You got to do too much.
Struggle with it. Mark Heffron then. So this sort of vibe that he's got, this sort of subduedness. Well, I mean, I'm saying he's subdued, but Joe Gallagher just says no. That's just him. He's just, maybe in front of the cameras, he doesn't.
I think he does kind of like in front of the cameras, just about like kind of like, I don't know the right word, but I don't want to say shy, but he just kind of like tones down in front of the cameras because. I remember meeting him fight and the back and forth on Twitter. I was expecting a bit more explosiveness at the press conference, and they weren't there. So I think in front of the cameras, he just, I don't want to say goes the other way, but he's just not as loud as he's online and stuff.
Talk to me about Ellis Sorrow then. I remember when after you won the British title, we had a little chat, and you was like, "That's my dog." I think you said dog, didn't you? That's like a thing, isn't it? Is it DAH?
DARG. My dog.
DARG. So he's your dog, right? And I had a little chat with him yesterday. I like him a lot. Give us the sell.
He's a good guy, man, and he can fight. He bangs as well. He's got some spiteful shots when he puts them together, but sometimes he just feels comfortable boxing and he just boxes. It just depends who's in there. If you saw in the competition, 3 rounds boxing easy, didn't like to come up second gear really. The fight before that, he had Aussie Jervier knocked him out in the round. Yeah. That's what he felt like doing. You know what I mean? So he can box, he can bang. Good personality, good story behind him, as he was sharing with you guys the other day. Obviously,
that's amazing. That
so he's just a general good guy, and he just wants the best for himself and his family. So, and he's doing his best to do that. So that's good.
And what about the rest of the gym? Obviously, there's from our side we've got Chris Bork in there, Louis Lin. I think Louis Lin's a bit injured at the moment, isn't he?
Yes, Louis Lin's carrying an injury, but it's being treated. And he's hoping to get back out by the end of the year, but we have to see, of course, how the injury plays out. He hasn't been sparring or nothing, but he has been in the gym doing the workouts with everyone else, and it looks like he's holding up well. He hasn't been complaining about it. He hasn't had no twinges. You haven't seen it in his face, because sometimes, even if he says it's not hurt, I can see in his face he's going through something, but he hasn't been. So he's in good spirits. He's good. I'm sure he's happy with his progress. And as for Chris, it's just about him getting back out, man. That's all it is. Chris just needs to bounce back from that loss he took in a courageous fight. He went in there, hand injury, nose injury, and he just stuck there and got the 12 rounds out there. So he done the best he could, and the night is just about him bouncing back and getting back into title contention, get back into position to just show the world who he is, because he's a much better fighter than that. And I'm not just gassing him up because he's my gym mate. He's actually a quality fighter.
So your dog?
That's my dog.
That's your dog. This bouncing back scenario is a scenario that you have been in as well.
Yeah.
Have you been sharing advice with Chris? Have you been helping him along? Has he sought advice from you?
Do you know what it is? Excuse me. Chris is one of those guys. It's like, he don't need too much advice. I just got to say 1-2 things to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm already there." Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's sulking. He's not missing days in the gym. Like, "Oh, I can't wait. I need to get back out," or "Can't believe I lost." And that, you have your couple of days or your week, whatever, and that's it. You're over it. You're done. Remember, he's had a long amateur career as well, so he's got more experience than me. He's lost in amateurs and come back. He knows how to handle himself. It's just a shame that he's sitting on that loss, and just like how I felt. When that's the last thing you've done, everyone you speak to is asking you about that same thing, and that's the only thing that gets annoying about that. Other than that, he's in the gym, he's in good spirits. Like, we're making jokes, he's making jokes, we're laughing, we're cracking up, whatever. It's just about him getting back out, and I can't wait to see him back out, because I know he's going to be a different animal, and I know he can't wait to get back out neither, because he's in the gym grafting with us. Yeah.
Well, look, that's where it's mad, where boxing is a different sport to many other sports, because, say, Pogba just loses a game for Man United, or he's gone, hasn't he? He's gone.
He's gone, I know,
he's gone. So annoying. But let's say, I don't know, Luke Shaw loses a game for Man United, right? They're not going to be like, you know, a couple of weeks later or 2 months down the line, you lost that game.
Lost that game, exactly.
It's just...
they're not, like, it's gone. It's gone after that, like... that's old news. Yeah. Whereas in boxing, you got to sit in that for a couple of months. Yeah. Until you can get back out, because then you get your time off. If you have any injuries, and unfortunately you got to take time off, make sure the injuries heal. Then you got to get back into camp. You got to get a date. Then you got to grind towards that date. Then you got to make weight. Then you got to wait the next day to fight again. And it's just all long.
Stressful,
and then it just like lingers on your mind more and more. Like as time goes on, like, oh, when am I going to get back? When am I going to get back? When am I going to get back?
But when you do get back, you love it, don't you?
When you do get back, you're back.
Yeah, you're back. Especially if you can suddenly become 2-time British middleweight champion.
Yeah,
Fist bump me on that. The number 1 middleweight in the country, according to BoxRec, isn't you? It's Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He's been heavily linked to a fight with Conor Benn.
Yeah.
It looks like that's going to happen. What do you make of that?
I think that's like a legacy fight, just because of their dads. It's a name. It's a money grab, and of course we're all in the sport to grab money, so do what you're doing. But I feel it could be a bit dangerous. Because Chris Eubank is coming down to 156. I don't know what that would do to him. I don't know how, he's getting kind of old. I don't know if the 4 pounds will, take a bit out of him. Chris Eubank isn't the biggest of punches, but he's very spiteful with his shots. We could see a repeat of Golovkin-Kell Brook, really, where he has a really bad injury and it damages him for the rest of his career. And Conor Benn is quite young, so you don't want to see that. But he is also explosive. He can handle his own. He's a big puncher, so he can go in there and land some shots on Chris Eubank. And if it takes a toll on him, who knows what could happen. But to jump that many weight classes is a bit risky to me, but hey, if they're comfortable and their team's comfortable, go for it. Because if he goes out there and bangs him out, then
he's a star.
He's a star, isn't it? So hey, you got to take a chance sometimes.
Do you feel as though there's a biting point? You mentioned 156 pounds there. I'm not sure if that's it's all just rumour at the moment. Do you feel as though there's a sort of biting point in weights where it becomes too much for Conor Benn?
Yeah, I think 156. What did he? But then again, they say he puts on quite a lot of weight after he weighs in, so. He goes into the fight quite heavy, but of course he's fighting smaller guys, so all guys his weight, wherever. So it makes that difference to them, but it won't make that difference to Chris, because Chris probably blows up heavier than that or around that anyway, and he's been sparring big guys, and he's just naturally that weight, naturally that size. Is that right? Yeah, thank you, bro.
Nice little moment there. Nice little tickle from Kev Marie. A little hello from Mark Heffron.
Yeah. So it's like if he just goes up too quick, too fast, it could affect him. But like I said, he goes into the fights. I've heard nearly a super middleweight, so he'll have the advantage over other welterweights. But over Chris Eubank Jr., I don't know if he'll have that same advantage.
Just following on from the little tickle and a hello that you got from Heffron and Marie. You always got a good relationship with your opponents down the years?
Really, I saw one of my old opponents' dads the other day, and we stopped and had a chat for a while. But with Mark, I told Kevin we can be cool if he's got no more middleweights for me to fight.
Oh yeah, he had a couple, didn't he?
Yeah, so as long as he ain't got no one else for me to fight, we're all right. But yeah, no, Mark is cool. You know, it wasn't no real beef anyway. Like nothing disrespectful was said that for me to be trying holding a grudge or feeling like, nah, you know what, you violated there. But it was all cool. So obviously he's all done. He's moved up a weight. So that rivalry's, you know, out the window unless I move up. Not joking, but
are you thinking about it?
No.
2x 2 weight. Hey, how about it?
No, I'm not thinking about it. But no, like I said, he's quite cool. We've had a chat, and like I said, I'm siding with him to win, and I hope he does it. It's third time. Go for it, man.
This stuff that happens today, you know, when they face off,
Yeah.
you're looking into the opponent's eyes for maybe the last time before the first bell rings.
Yeah.
Do you ever take anything away from it? Do you ever?
Nah, it means nothing to me, man. Because people might just be nervous, like in situations like this, so they might just be like, "Oh, I'm not used to this." But once they're fighting. They're different guys. You know what I mean? I don't take too much from it. I don't really care. I just face off and go my way, to be honest.
Did you see the face-off yesterday between Nick Ball and Nathaniel?
I did.
Coccololo?
That was kind of funny. Yeah.
What do you think of that?
To see that. There was no need, but I guess he's trying to, you know, take the mick a little bit and just show him, like you're short. But I don't think you can underestimate short guys. I think Isaac Lowe tried to do the same thing to him.
Yeah.
And look what he done to Isaac Lowe. But that's the first time I've seen Nick Ball fight, and I kind of like him. I think he's a savage. So
he is a savage.
It's
and
a scary sight for the guys he's weight.
Well, listen, we're going to hand over to another savage, Thomas Triber. He's not a savage, is he?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the official weigh-in here at the BT Sports Studio as we get set for Fight Night Live, a great night of championship boxing to be held tomorrow at the Copper Box Arena in London. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red, Foot Asylum, and Unibet. This great event will be televised live on BT Sport beginning at 6:30 p.m. local time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin the weigh-in process with our main event participants. They will be competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest, and it will be for the vacant WBC Silver Middleweight Championship. We will first welcome to the scale, coming to us from Buenos Aires, Argentina. He brings a professional record consisting of 17 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw. 5 of his 17 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Francisco Emmanuel Torres.
Well, Francisco Emmanuel Torres now taking to the scales.
$11 stone, 5 pounds, 4 ounces.
11.5.
For Francisco Emmanuel Torres.
Francisco Torres.
We now
Saturday
welcome to
night.
the scale his opponent tomorrow night from Ilford, London, England. He is undefeated with 15 wins. 11 of his 15 wins come by way of knockout. He is the current WBC International Silver Champion. Let's welcome to the scale, Hamzah Sheeraz.
Big ovation here for Hamzah Sheeraz. Knocked out 9 in a row. Can he make it 10 on Saturday night?
11 stone, 5 pounds, 4 ounces.
11.5
for Hamzah Sheeraz.
Denzel, how did he look?
Yeah, he looks in shape. It looks like he's carried the weight well. I'm sure you're struggling to make 154. So.
Yeah, I don't know how he was doing it. He's 6'3", making 154 pounds.
Yeah,
looks
crazy.
Much more comfortable. WBC Silver Middleweight Championship on the line. That'll get him a nice ranking with the WBC. Says he's going to do what Jose Benavidez couldn't do.
Oh, that's a nice belt.
It's a nice belt, right? You got your eye on that.
Yes. Well, they're not far off.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this our main event tomorrow night, live on BT Sport. 12 rounds scheduled for the vacant WBC Silver Middleweight Championship.
WBC silver middleweight title on the line tomorrow night. Hamzah Sheeraz and Francisco Torres. Let's see if we can grab Hamzah for a chat. We may be able to, we may not. Rehydrating now, Hamzah. You see the corner. Taz Khan, Amir Khan's uncle, in there, part of the camp now. Ricky Funes, fourth camp with Hamzah Sheeraz. Does that warm weather training out in LA? What'd you make of the warm weather training? You could just do it here now, can't you?
Put the heating on, innit? But yeah, I guess when you're going out for runs and stuff, the weather's different. Over here it's quite cold, especially at night. But yeah, man, it's easy to make weight in the heat. I know that for sure. So,
you ever considered, like, you know, parking up somewhere else, doing it all abroad?
No, not doing it all abroad, but I don't mind going out for, you know, visits every now and then in the year. Going out, spar some of the top boys, maybe spend like a couple of weeks out there.
You did New York before,
Green
didn't you?
room.
I did New York, but I didn't find anyone to really move around with because it was
They didn't want to smoke.
All fighters.
They knew about me from early now, I'm joking. But they didn't get no one to move around with, but next time I just got to plan it properly.
Following the weigh-in. Thank you.
What did you think of me calling Thomas Schreiber a savage? Just sort of a misplaced compliment, or is he?
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
We've got to see. We'll see what he's like in that ring first.
Our next two combatants competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the British Commonwealth and vacant IBF Intercontinental Super Middleweight Championships. We will first welcome to the scale the challenger from Oldham, Greater Manchester, England. His professional record consists of 27 wins, 2 defeats, 1 draw, 21 of his 27 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome to the scale, Mark Kid Dynamite Heffron.
Little clap here from former opponent Denzel Bentley. Mark Heffron on the scales, back at super middleweight.
Is that what you started at? Yeah, super middleweight.
He started in like
11 stone,
2010.
12 pounds, 12 ounces for Mark Heffron.
Does it look good, look healthy on the scales to you, Denzel?
He does. He looks in good shape.
We now welcome to the scale from Birmingham, England. His professional record consists of 20 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw, 8 of his 20 wins come by way of knockout. Let's welcome the reigning and defending British and Commonwealth super middleweight champion, Lennox Dangerous Clarke.
First defence of his British and Commonwealth titles for Lennox Clarke.
Nice as well.
Yeah, that'll get him a nice ranking, and yeah, got your eyes on it, Denzel. Eh? Maybe not a super middle.
Maybe.
Yeah,
11 stone, 13 pounds, 10 ounces for Lennox Clarke.
He's in good shape as well.
Yeah, both within the super middleweight limit. First fight in nearly 15 months now for Lennox Clarke. He's not had the best of luck.
Yeah, I've heard he's had a few injuries.
Yeah, I think he broke his ribs. I think it was a combination of Tyler Denny and Zach Parker. You know, who needs enemies when you've got friends like that in the gym?
Exactly that.
They'd done his ribs, and then he was taking his dog for a walk and rolled over his ankle. So he's not had the best of luck.
Wow. Couldn't write that.
But here he is, first defence of his British and Commonwealth titles. The background is unbelievable. I think he only had like a handful of white collar fights.
Yeah, he's achieved a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
considering where he is.
From, yeah.
Probably has a few pinch yourself moments. Mark Heffron's been a pro since, as we were saying, since like 2010. He started off. I remember seeing pictures of him sparring Amir Khan. He was down very low.
Yeah.
He's up now. Kev Marie, his manager, says that Mark Heffron has never lost a round at super middleweight. This is the weight division for him.
Okay. It should be interesting then.
It should be. Caps at weigh-ins. I've never been a fan, to be honest. You can't get right in there.
I can't get a cap on my head anyway.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow night live on BT Sport in a 12-round contest for the British Commonwealth and vacant IBF Intercontinental Super Middleweight Championships.
It's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, I mean you can feel it. That was a steely face off. I mean, Denzel, Mark looked away first. Does it mean anything? Does it matter?
Doesn't mean nothing, man. He just couldn't bother to stare for that long. But at the same time, it would have been interesting to see, a little longer stare down. I think Lennox was really intense.
There was a bit of elbow touching as well. I thought that might have got Lennox to kick off.
All this stuff don't mean nothing anyway. They've got to fight tomorrow.
Yes.
It will be forgotten about tomorrow anyway, whether you took something or not.
Next two combatants to the scale competing tomorrow night in a 12-round contest for the WBC Silver Featherweight Championship. We will first welcome to the scale the challenger coming to us from Etomba, Namibia. His professional record, 14 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw, 6 of his 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome Nathaniel Coccololo.
Well, here he is, Nathaniel Coccololo. He's come over with a hell of a lot of confidence.
8 stone, 12 pounds, 10 ounces for Nathaniel Coccololo.
Makes the featherweight limit.
I'm not sure what he's done in his career, but I think his confidence comes from the
and
fact
now
that
we welcome to the scale, coming to us from Liverpool, undefeated with 15 wins. 8 of his 15 wins come by way of knockout. Let's welcome tomorrow night, defending his WBC Silver Featherweight Championship, Nick Ball.
Great ovation here for Nick Ball. First defence of his WBC Silver Featherweight Championship. The belt that he won at Wembley Stadium.
8 stone, 13 pounds, 12 ounces for Nick Ball.
Looks terrific on the scales, Nick Ball. He always does. And this face-off should be very interesting. Nathaniel Coccololo, as I mentioned, has come over with a lot of confidence. He said a lot of things, including that Nick Ball's fans should be taking photos of him with the belt because this will be his last time with that belt. So he's come over with some swag, Denzel.
He's cheeky. That is funny.
I think he said something about he feels like he's fighting a child or something like that as well. He's been non-stop, mate.
Oh, he might be in trouble tomorrow, Carl. From what I've seen from Nick Ball, he is a bit of a savage.
Yeah, you must have watched the Wembley fight, right, against
I was there. Yeah, I saw it. I come in just as that fight was on, actually. And that fight caught my attention because, if I'm being honest, I wasn't a fight I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it and I was like, whoa, what's this kid done?
Yeah. Well, that's it. He's sort of burst onto the scene, and maybe if he'd have had more of a profile heading into that fight, maybe Isaac Lowe wouldn't have taken that fight.
Yeah, literally exactly that. But listen, he's got a nice belt that rewarded him for that. But
yeah,
I think that's one away from the world title, isn't it?
There we go.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow night live on BT Sport in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the WBC Silver Featherweight Championship.
Ooh. Well, Nathaniel Coccololo, he is...
he wants beef.
He wants beef. He patted... He got a semblance of a shove from Nick Ball. Nothing major, because he patted the belt. I think he kissed the belt and placed the kiss on the belt.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought he just kind of touched it, yeah.
Our next two combatants to the scale competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBC International Silver Featherweight Championship. We will first welcome to the scale from Bloxwich, West Midlands, England. His professional record, 14 wins, 2 defeats. 2 wins come by way of knockout. He is a former British title challenger. Here is James Beach Jr.
James Beach Jr. comes in tow with the BCB boys. It's a gym that's and a promotional outfit that have their tails up right now. Tyler Denny recently picking up a belt. They're doing very well. Let's see if James Beach can carry on.
8 stone, 11 pounds, 10 ounces for James Beach Jr. Next to the scale, his opponent tomorrow night in this championship contest. He comes to us from Maidstone, Kent, England. Undefeated with 12 wins. 6 of his 12 wins come by way of knockout. Let's welcome the undefeated former WBO youth champion, Dennis The Menace McCann.
Well, Dennis McCann now up at featherweight, a weight that he believes he'll be a new menace at.
8 stone, 11 pounds, 4 ounces for Dennis McCann.
He looks in good shape though.
Yeah, looks the part.
Jeez.
He always does. I think he's eased off the Haribos for this camp. This is a serious fight, a serious step up in level, and look, they've been saying some serious things at the press conference. Dennis McCann believes he can, make a bit of a statement.
Dennis is a talent, man.
And very important, all fighters need to see the doctor before departing here today, ladies and gentlemen. All boxers need to see the doctor on the other side of that curtain. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, as I was saying, Dennis can fight. Mad skills for days. Beach Junior's been in there, with a lot of top boys, come up short against them, but we know he's always going to bring it. So this is a good challenge for Dennis, especially where he's young, to see what level he's at, see where he is. If he beats these guys better than his former opponents have, then you see where he is. But he fought Brad Foster and Chris Bourke. I think Chris Bourke got a shutout performance against him, which is a very good result. And Brad Foster had I'm not sure of the shot. It looked close to me, but I'm not sure
that was the first. That was actually here in this building. First lockdown fight. But James Beach believes that size will be a bit of a factor in this fight.
I think Dennis is big. I think he was big at bantamweight anyway. I'm surprised he was making bantam. I thought he comes in the gym or he goes to gyms, he spars super bantams and he's bigger than them. So I don't think size will be a factor for Dennis. I think he'll be all right at featherweight.
Well, that's pretty much what Dennis said yesterday. He said, "What makes you think that you're bigger than me?"
Exactly.
But we shall see the size difference now. I'm just having a little look at the trainers, because not the cornermen. I'm talking about the actual trainers that they're going to be wearing. Because what do you do? Do you go barefoot or do you go with trainers?
I like to put my trainers on. I don't really like walking
get
my
the
barefoot anyway.
extra little.
Not even for that. I just don't like walking my barefoot.
Yeah,
even at home I wear slippers.
Fair. Let's have a look at this.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow night live on BT Sport in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBC International Silver Featherweight Championship.
And there's the Haribos, passed on from... Oh, look. Oh, what a moment there. Dennis McCann has offered Haribos to James Beach Jr., who has walked away from the Haribos. Who on earth turns down Haribos? Denzel?
Listen, I would have picked them up if they did it.
Our next two combatants to the scale competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 8-round international super featherweight contest. First, we will welcome to the scale, coming to us from Sinaloa, Mexico. His professional record, 13 wins, 18 defeats, 2 draws, 11 of his 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome to the scale, Christian Lopez Torres.
Well, Christian Lopez Torres recently took Amin Jahanzeb the distance. We're taking on Ryan Garner tomorrow night. One of those storied journeymen. Nice tash, Denzel. Thoughts?
He has got a nice tash.
He's got a nice tash.
Is he Mexican?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know they like their tash. Amin Jahanzeb, is that the guy that fought Louis in?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, good fighter.
He is.
Next to the scale, his opponent tomorrow night from Southampton. Undefeated with 11 wins, 6 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout.
He's had a bit of a stop career, Ryan Garner.
Ryan the Piranha Garner.
Yeah, needs to get a bit of momentum now, the Piranha.
Yeah, I've heard good things about him, but I haven't really seen too much, if I'm being honest.
Feels like Ryan Garner is due a breakout performance. This will be his 12th fight, now 24 years old. It feels like a lifetime ago where he burst onto the scene and he was knocking people out for fun on BT Sport and Box Nation.
Yeah. I think he turned over quite a while ago. I think he might turn over before me.
Yeah, he's been around a little while. As you say, a stop-start career, but it feels like he has knuckled down now. He has found his weight division at super featherweight. There were some real horror shows back in the day where he was trying to get down to featherweight, and he was really struggling on the scales. Really struggling.
What's he at now? Super featherweight?
This is super featherweight.
Okay.
This fight may just be a little bit above that.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two compete tomorrow night in a scheduled 8-round international super featherweight contest.
Well, Christian Lopez Torres actually has more wins than Ryan Garner. Of course, Ryan Garner unbeaten and doesn't have any losses on his record. He'll come to fight Torres. It'll be an interesting scrap tomorrow night.
Our next two combatants to the scale competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 8-round international super lightweight contest. First, we will welcome to the scale, coming to us from Cordoba, Spain, by way of Managua, Nicaragua. His professional record, 17 wins, 14 defeats, 8 wins by knockout. He also has 1 no contest. Let's welcome Robin Zamora.
Well, Zamora is a familiar name in London, not necessarily on the boxing scene, but Zamora returns. He's here, and he's he'll come to fight. He's a 24-year-old Nicaraguan.
He's feeling himself.
He's
I like
feeling
it. I like
himself.
the
Look at the shades.
Mixed weight with all that on.
10 stone, 1 pound for Robin Zamora. Next to the scale, coming to us from Dublin, Ireland. He is undefeated with 9 wins. 5 of his 9 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Pierce Big Bang O'Leary.
Well, he's a decorated amateur as Pierce O'Leary. It's his Queensbury and BT Sport debut on Saturday night. He can whack a little bit.
10 stone, 1 pound for Pierce O'Leary.
Yeah, you can definitely whack, to be honest. I've seen a few of his fights.
Yeah, there's some dangerous knockouts.
Yeah, I've seen him sleep someone.
Yeah. Well, let's see if he can sleep this Nicaraguan tomorrow night.
He's ready to hit the beach.
Yeah, I believe they are indeed beach shorts. Let's see if Pierce O'Leary picks up on it and makes any kind of comment. I'm sure he won't. I'm sure he's just in fight mode. He's got big plans, says Pierce O'Leary. He says he wants to fight for the unified super lightweight title at Dublin's 3 Arena and then go on to defend it at Croke Park. So he's got big plans, big ambitions.
Yeah, he does. You need,
You need goals, don't you?
Yeah, you need goals in boxing. What's going on? Oh. Yeah, you need goals in boxing, man. Oh, tasty.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow night in a 8-round international super lightweight contest.
Pretty steely.
Got the shades versus specs.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen that before, where one guy is wearing specs and one is wearing shades, but I wonder if you can even see Zamora's eyes. Make for a great snap, that, as they pose for the cameras. Pierce O'Leary, BT Sport and Queensbury debut tomorrow night. Hard-hitting super lightweight. I mean, check out some of what he's done. I believe he's won Irish Knockout of the Year.
Our next two combatants to the scale competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 6-round international light heavyweight contest. First, we welcome to the scale from Liptovsky, Mikolas, Slovakia. He has 30 professional bouts to his credit. Let's welcome to the scale, Michal Gazdik.
Well, Michal Gazdik has only been stopped a couple of times in his career. He took Jordan the Game Grant the distance in May. Jordan Grant, you may remember from his fight with Tommy Fury in Telford.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
It's taken him the distance. And he was stopped by Callum Simpson a couple of months ago.
12 stone,
one of Kevin Ruiz fighters, isn't he?
For Michal Gazdik.
Yeah, Callum Simpson was able to get him out of there.
His opponent tomorrow night, coming to us from Chatham, Kent, England. Undefeated with 7 wins. 5 of his 7 wins come by way of knockout. Let's welcome to the scale, Carol Italma.
Well, it's fight number 8 for Carol Italma. Last time out, he was at Wembley Stadium and he put on a bit of a show, got a stoppage. He's at the Copper Box on Saturday night.
12 stone, 9 pounds for Carol Italma.
Considered really a star in the making, former Olympic youth gold medalist, and something I talked about the other day, Denzel. I don't know if you've given this any thought, you probably haven't, but Olympic youth gold medalist, right, light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Olympic silver medalist, Ben Whittaker, light heavyweight. Oh, that's a fight one day. Telling you.
100%. I saw a clip of you talking about him, and I think that'd be a good fight down the line. Both good fighters. Of course, we haven't seen what Ben Whittaker could do in the pros yet, but as an amateur, outstanding. Carroll, as a pro, listen, undefeated. He's done his things. He's got out of there who he needs to get out of there. And like I said, I like the way he carries himself. He's a good fighter. He comes from a fighting family. His brother also boxes. Dangerous guy as well.
Yeah, have you seen him?
Bit of a beast, yeah.
Oh,
scary. But yeah, no, Carroll can fight, man. And I think that fight down the line does big numbers. And I think
once again,
they're
ladies
both
and
big
gentlemen,
fighters.
these two competing tonight in a 6-round international light heavyweight contest.
Well, Carroll's seen this all before now. Fight number 8. Manager
I think his opponent's
Francis.
going to box in them shorts that he's wearing now.
I think there's a good chance he will, Denzel. I think there's a good chance he will. They are boxing shorts, aren't they? You can see that in the midriff.
Yeah.
Right, let's see tomorrow night. Francis Warren, his manager, has promised him a title fight before the end of the year. I'm sure he'll be knocking on some doors very loudly.
Be interested to see.
I believe his goal, actually, and this was a couple of months ago, he said he wants to be British champion in 2023. Well, the British champion's Dan Aziz, your mate.
But by 2023, I think he would have moved on. Yeah.
He'd have moved on.
He's my mate, though. Shouts out to Dan Aziz.
He's your dog.
It's my dog.
We continue the weigh-in process. These two competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 8-round international featherweight contest. First, we welcome to the scale, coming to us from Veliko Tarnovo, Bulgaria. Undefeated with 3 wins. Let's welcome Tinko, the Destroyer, Banabakov.
Well, this is unbeaten boxer against unbeaten boxer. Saturday night, Tinko Banabakov, the Bulgarian, in his 4th fight, takes on unbeaten Masood Abdullah, just waving at Denzel Bentley in Masood's 5th fight.
Masood can fight. It's mad. He's had a few pull-outs in his career as well. Yeah, it hasn't been as straightforward as he'd probably like it to be. But every time I've seen him out, he just goes out there. He's got a good engine on him, good punch selection, and I think he's got some sting in his shots a bit as well. So
undefeated with 4
I'm looking forward
wins,
to seeing this.
all 4 wins
don't know how good he is,
by way
though,
of
but should be a good
knockout.
fight.
Here is Masood Abdullah.
Fight number 5 for Masood Abdullah, and he's switching weight again. He's been all up and down the weights.
8 stone,
what is he
9
now?
pounds.
Well, this one,
For Masood Abdullah.
he's going for super bantamweight, is the weight he's targeting now. He's been up at super featherweight, he's been up at lightweight, I think he's done featherweight. He says he doesn't know. I guess he's going to find out.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, though, super bantamweight, that's a hell of a division for him to enter.
It is stacked.
Yeah.
It's a stacked division for him to enter. It'll be good. I think when I first met him, he might have been a super feather, so he has done a bit of weight, and he looks in good shape. And
yeah,
he doesn't look like he's dead at the weight or anything. He looks quite good, active. But he's one of them guys, you speak to him, you wouldn't think he fights the way he fights.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He's a savage. He's an absolute savage. As soon as that first bell rings, his fight with Sandeep Singh Bhatti, I don't know if you saw that a few months ago, and that was just carnage. He just got him to wilt towards the end of it. But very good fighter. Entered boxing quite late, actually.
Yeah, he did.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 8-round international featherweight contest.
Two unbeaten boxers, Denzel. I mean, someone's
has to go.
Look at you just finishing my bars.
Man, I'm
finishing my
like
bars,
this.
yeah. This is
Give me
your
at it more.
thing, mate. This is your thing. All friendly, all smiles.
Until tomorrow.
Yeah, you see. Well, as soon as that first bell rings, you just look at Masood. He will be a savage. That Banabakov fella, he's done plenty of amateur fights as well. He's lost. He's got a loss on his record. Of course, it's a loss, but he's got a loss on his record to Galal Yafai, Olympic gold medalist back in the amateur days. Yeah.
Scale, competing tomorrow night in a 6-round international featherweight contest. First to the scale, coming to us from Girona, Spain. He brings a professional record consisting of 8 wins, 12 defeats, 1 draw. 4 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome Angel Gomez.
Well, it's fight number 22 for Angel Gomez, the Nicaraguan, aged 22. Doesn't really get stopped. It's only been stopped a couple of times. Peter McGrail was able to get the job done. Took Willow Hayden the distance last month.
Peter McGraw's an Olympian, right? Oh, yeah.
Angel Gomez. Next to the scale is
that. Wait, what was that?
tomorrow night from Ilford, London, England, undefeated with 3 victories.
Left off Thomas Tryon.
Here is Umar Khan.
Umar Khan, plenty of fanfare here for Umar Khan. Hamzah Sheeraz's cousin.
8 stone, 13 pounds for Umar Khan.
Looking good on the scales. He was actually telling me, Denzel, that he's actually not Hamzah Sheeraz's cousin. It's just like their nans are mates. But if you if you know Asian culture, every man's your uncle, every woman's your auntie.
Listen, the same as African culture.
Yeah.
It's out of respect, innit?
Yeah.
It's good.
He's another one who's relocated, whereas Hamzah went to America for his training. Umar Khan has gone out to Spain, completely relocated, making those sacrifices.
More of that warm weather training, isn't
it?
Yeah. Fourth fight as a pro for Umar Khan. No stoppages yet, but he did have Levi Dunn down on his debut. That man's strength, I'm sure, is coming.
How old is he?
It's like 20. 20 years old.
Young.
When did you start knocking people out? Just immediately?
As soon as I turned pro.
Yeah. When did you turn pro? What age were you?
I was 22.
22?
Yeah.
Just
Our next two
a bad man.
to the scale competing tonight in a scheduled 6-round super lightweight contest. First, we welcome to the scale from Plymouth, a veteran of 85 professional bouts. Let's welcome to the scale, Chris Attaway.
Well, Chris Attaway, a name that you all recognise. He's on shows all over the country. He's fought everyone. He's fought Thomas Patrick Ward, Jordan Gill, Zelfa Barrett, Tyron McKenna, Isaac Lowe, Henry Turner recently on a Queensbury show. Always has a smile on his face, always comes to fight, and very rarely gets stopped.
10 stone, 2 pounds for Chris Attaway. We now welcome to the scale his opponent tomorrow night from Upminster.
Yes.
Undefeated with 3 victories. Let's welcome
Super lightweight.
Sahni Liston Ali.
Sahni Liston Ali. Denzel, do you wish you were called Sahni Liston Ali?
No, that's a lot of pressure. Sahni Liston and Ali. I'm alright, mate. Listen, but I bet he can fight though. There's no way you got a name like that and you can't fight.
Yeah, very tall. Look at Thomas Driver feeling himself as well. I bet he never thought he'd announce a name like that. Sahni Liston Ali. But yeah,
this is debut or
no, this is fight number 4 for Sahni Liston Ali. Trains with
very important
Hara
reminder,
Davis.
all
He's up in that gym with Will Jones.
Before departing here this afternoon, see the doctor on the other side of the big black curtain here.
I would like to get a chat with him if we can at some point. I mean, it's
Once again, ladies
Attaway
and
with
gentlemen,
the handshake immediately.
6-round super lightweight contest.
Sahni Liston Ali. I mean, is it his actual name or is his name actually like Brian or something like that? You just don't know because it's a very marketable name to pick.
He said Brian.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it Brian? No, it's probably not. It's probably not Brian. It's probably not. But he trains in a good gym with Will
Our
Jones.
next 2 combatants to the scale competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 6-round welterweight contest. First, we welcome from Plymouth. He is a veteran of 85 professional bouts. Let's welcome Des Newton.
Well, another familiar face, another man that you'd have seen again up and down the country. Plenty of undercard slots, plenty of work for Des Newton. Last out in April against George Bantz. Sustained a shoulder injury in that
for
fight.
Des Newton.
A soldier injury.
Opponent tomorrow night from Brick Lane, undefeated with 2 wins. One of his 2 wins comes by way of knockout. Here is Khalid Ali.
Khalid Ali, Mr. Brick Lane himself, brings the fans with him.
10 stone, 10 pounds for Khalid Ali.
What weight is that, Thames?
Well, he's meant to be a welterweight. I guess he's just not making any sort of championship weight.
Oh, that's near enough 154 pounds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He had a good debut, by the way, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
How he's had since then.
I don't think he remembers much of the debut. He just sort of went crazy. As soon as the first bell rang, he just went crazy. Got his man out of there, though. And that was at the Copper Box as well, and he returns to the scene of that great debut.
These two competing tonight in a scheduled 6
Oh yeah, it was at the Copper Box, isn't it?
welterweight contest.
Did 400 tickets last time out. Khalid Ali, he's a bit of a ticket seller. He's got a fan base down at Brick Lane, and I'd imagine he's done quite a few this time as well.
Our next two combatants to the scale competing tonight in a scheduled 4-round welterweight contest. First to the scale from Brierley Hall, a veteran of 86 professional bouts. Let's welcome MJ Hall.
Well, from Brierley Hall, it's MJ Hall.
Come on, Devin Rams.
He's only been stopped 5 times as old MJ. Tough guy. Tough guy.
Oh, with 86 fights as well. That's not bad.
For MJ Hall.
Took Hassan.
And now we welcome to the scale his opponent
Azim
tomorrow
the
night
distance.
from Maidstone
on the Khan Brook.
undefeated with 1 victory. Let's welcome Sean the Nightmare Noakes.
Well, we had his brother on earlier, Sam Noakes, who's on a hell of a run, and Sean Noakes looking to make his own name.
Is this the older or younger brother?
Older.
Oh, older brother.
For Sean Noakes.
Oh, that's why he starts back and forth with him.
Yeah.
Older brother trying to save face, like, nah.
Well, I did
Can't
ask
get me,
him,
little bro.
Oh, I said to him, would you ever fight your brother? You know, because I just ask stupid questions like that. But I said, would you ever fight your brother?
He
He was
said
like,
yeah, didn't he?
no, he was more like, look, I'm the older brother. I'm a bit more sort of protective. But if we did meet, I'd punch his head in. So it's there. The low-key savagery is there. They'll be competitive boys, though, won't they?
Of course.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 4-round welterweight contest.
Wants to fight at Maidstone's Gallagher Stadium one day, alongside his brother Sam. I'd imagine they'll be kept separate at the moment on shows because I think they've all got the same mates and that.
Yeah,
so.
of course, yeah.
But I wonder what that's like for him though. You know, under the pressure of Sam Noakes knocking everyone out, and you know, there's shoes to follow there, right?
He's had his debut, right?
Yeah.
How many stops
he went the distance in his debut.
And he's already lost on that one, isn't it?
You reckon Sam's on his case about
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude today's weigh-in. Again, tomorrow, great night of Fight Night Live. Championship boxing to be held at Copper Box Arena in London. All brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry, along with their great sponsors,
well, look,
32 Red.
There we have it. There we have it. Another big weigh-in. Denzel, any takeaways from what you've seen today? We didn't get to chat with Hamzah, but how did he look on the scales to you?
He looked good. He looked good on the scales. Like I was saying to you, he must have really struggled to make 154 because he did look in good shape at middleweight. Yeah, I think he looked in good shape, and I think he probably feels that little bit much better that he didn't have to cut the extra 6 pounds, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, and what about Francisco Torres? I mean, the first thing you said when you saw him was that he's quite big himself.
Yeah, no, he's quite tall. He's not far off the height for Hamzah. Hamzah was big at light middleweight, and he's tall at middleweight too. Do you know what I mean? But Torres wasn't that much shorter than him. They were like about an inch or two difference, but that could be the difference. But yeah, he looked good on the scales too, Torres, and I think he's taking this fight serious. This might be, another one of them fights. Well, the Benavidez fight got him this fight, so this fight he's good thinking, look, I'm in the limelight now. Let me push on from here. So he's not going to be slacking.
And what about Heffron and Clarke then? There was an intense stare.
Yeah, there was. I think Clarke was a lot more intense than Heffron was, but they both looked in good shape. So I know it's going to be a good fight. They both training their asses off for this. So I'm looking forward to that fight the most out of everything.
And talk to me about a man who today turned down a pack of Haribos. James Beach Jr. was offered Haribos by Dennis McCann, and he walked off and he turned his back and he didn't want them.
He's probably looking for them now.
Yeah. Do you think it's just
who picked them up?
Just regret? But I mean, can you read anything into that? I mean,
he's just not interested in Dennis's games. Dennis is young. He likes playing a bit of games. He probably wanted to give him Haribos. I don't know. He's just not interested.
Yeah. Oh, he's here to fight. Well,
Yeah.
let's talk briefly about the other featherweight contest, Nick Ball and Nathaniel Coccololo, and that was quite an intense face-off, and he kissed the belts.
Yeah,
and Nick Ball gave him a little shove.
Gave him a little shove. Nick Ball's not playing no games neither. I like that guy, man. He's serious about his game. He doesn't play around. He's on it, and I know he just wants to get in there and get to work. The other guy's playing a bit of games. He thinks, his confidence has come from Nick Ball being that much shorter than him.
Yeah.
But I think that's the wrong move.
I mean, Nick Ball's pretty much shorter than everyone. I mean, even me. But he obviously is a lot harder than me. We're going to bring in Francis Warren, who has been watching on today. Francis, join us. How are you? All right.
How you doing? I'm good, thanks.
Talk to us. I mean, what did you think of the face-off between Sheeraz and Torres? Can you read anything into it? What do you think we're going to see between them?
I just think Hamzah looks ultra confident. It's a big title, isn't it? These WBC silvers. I know, people probably say that these titles go around a bit too much, but as far as I'm concerned, it's one below world level, and Hamzah's trying to get put a stamp on that international scene. Although there's some big domestic fights out there for him, I think it's a big step in the right direction. But also you've got to have the opponents that have to qualify for these titles are of a certain calibre, and therefore this can't be taken lightly.
Well, Denzel was looking on saying, "Oh, that belt looks nice."
It does. I'm sure Denzel it is. Like I just mentioned the domestic fights, but I think that's one for the future for definite. I think everyone assumed that would be made pretty quickly, didn't they? You and Hamzah, but we got two top middleweights, and I think it's going to be a top fight when they do meet. But I think both guys have got international strides to make before they get there. Is it bigger than a British title fight? Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
And I think we could see that for a European or some sort of eliminator down the road.
Well, that's a big fight for the future. A big fight for the now is Mark Heffron and Lennox Clarke. I mean, it was quite tense up there.
Mark looks comfortable, didn't he? He looked quite comfortable at the weight. Obviously, Mark's he's campaigned at middleweight, as Denzel knows as well.
Yeah.
And he looked comfortable at the weight. Lennox obviously he's fighting at his true championship weight. Been out for over a year, and it's going to be it's a very interesting one, because I think Lennox has obviously had, like I said, that a bit of time off. Wants to confirm that good win against Willie last year wasn't just a sort of flash in the pan, and obviously wants to put a stamp on the titles and confirm have that first defence, as well as pick up an IBF international.
It's a good. The stakes are very high in that fight. Yeah. Tell me, Francis, have you ever turned down a pack of Haribo? Because that's what James Beach did.
I have actually. I'm not a big. Believe it or not, I'm not one for sweets. So no, I'm not one for sweets. But I tell you what, James Beach wasn't interested. But and I think Dennis at featherweight, I thought he would have been able to afford a few packs, during the build-up. But having spoken to Alan, and he looked in great shape, didn't he?
He did.
He looked in really good shape. But having spoken to Alan and Dennis, over the past sort of 3-4 weeks, you could see he's getting. I still think he'll end up at super bantam. To be honest, I think he said he's made the weight quite comfortably. But this is what these early stages of your career is for. It's to find your feet, find your.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
Find the best weight for you and stuff. Find out where how your camp should sit, how your food prep, and when to drop your weight and when to hold it, and it's all a learning process. And this is why I really respect these WBC international silver titles as well, because it does give the fighters that championship feeling without massive amounts of pressure, in terms of they do allow you to sort of a bit of leeway to say, right, we can go to bantam or we can go to feather, and I've got a lot of respect for the WBC for allowing fighters who are 9-10-0 to have that sort of championship feeling of a title fight.
Well, you got the WBC silver featherweight title on the line when Nick Ball defends his crown against your man Nathaniel Coccololo, who has come over here. He's very confident
and tall. He's tall, rangy. He's it's like Tommy Hearns.
Maybe he's Namibia's answer to Tommy Hearns.
I mean, do you know what? He almost reminded me a bit of Brady's Prescott. Sort of thing where you think he turns up and you think, I'm sitting there thinking, oh shit. No, listen, Nick Ball's a little machine. He's a little wrecking ball. And what he did at Wembley, for me, probably obviously Tyson stole the show as he would, but that's a standout performance.
100%. I was saying to Dev when I saw that fight, I didn't know much about him, who he was. I just knew he was the same way as Louis, who's my stablemate, and I saw that and I thought, geez, the new stars popped on the scene here.
Yeah.
And I was impressed with it. I think Coccololo confidence was coming from Nick Ball being that much shorter than him, and I think that's a mistake. I think Nick Ball's a serious guy.
Yeah, well, I think go and ask Isaac Lowe if height matters, because Nick's very short, and it's not just like winging it. Nick boxes properly, and then when he senses that that finishing opportunity, he takes it. And for me, he's one of the rising stars of world boxing, not just British boxing. I think he can do some serious damage in the next 12 months on the world scene.
He's also a very cool and calm customer. And that demeanour reminds me.
He's hot deep down. He's got a hot head.
Yeah.
He seems calm, but I think in his mind he's a bit angry.
Well, in the face-offs, you can see his eyes never leave Coccololo.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at all those guys at Red Triangle, they're all pretty fiery. I mean, Andrew Kane, same thing.
Oh, they're all from the same camp, right?
Yeah. So there's definitely something. Definitely something going on up there because they're all angry men. And Paul, you meet Paul Stevenson, he's just like, oh, hello mate, how you doing? So I think he's probably the calming influence that they'll probably need. So, but skill set wise, temperament wise, I think Nick Ball could be the guy who in 12 months we could look back and say, he's got it all.
Well, a man who could be the guy in the next few years is a man that you manage, Karol Itoma, Olympic youth gold medalist, fight number 8 for him on Saturday night. How are you finding his progress so far as a pro?
Karol's probably the coolest customer, one of the coolest customers I've met, and does everything to the point, does everything absolutely 100% professionally. Before when I had the chat with him before he turned pro, and he was talking about having a nutritionist that I think works with the majority of the England rugby team. So I was, it's like, wow, okay, you're not playing here. It's a serious thing for you, and it's continued day to day since then. He's got a great team around him. Dan Willich has done a tremendous job with him. Absolutely lovely guy out the ring. But what you are starting to see in the ring from Karol is, he's obviously got the raw talent. He's obviously got the natural ability. But he's starting to look pissed off when he's fighting, which is, for me, it needs to be that next step where he's got that confidence and ability where he can let his shots go and throw shots with anger. He's biting down and he's getting rid of people. And
bit of Denzel Bentley.
Bit of Denzel.
Why not?
You see it.
Absolutely. But I think, I'm sure you'll agree, the skill and the talent will get you so far, but you've got to have that. You've got to have that chip on your shoulder, you've got to have that anger about you, and you've got to have that arrogance that you believe you are the best. And, and if you don't have that, then there's only so far you go. But I think Karol's got it all.
Fantastic. Well, Francis, lovely speaking to you. Any sort of a final message to the fans as to why they should be tuning in on Saturday night?
Well, listen, we've just dissected 4 fantastic title fights. I think, you've got some real top talent, some of the best talent, certainly in the UK, probably across Europe as well, on show on Saturday night. Plus, and that's, and plus the undercard, Pierce O'Leary, Karol Itoma, Masood Abdullah. There's some serious talent on show on Saturday night, 100%. And I just think that, don't miss, especially the early guys as well. Don't miss their early patch of their career, because you can be the fans that say, "Oh, I saw his fight when he was only 8-0." Don't be one of those guys that pick it up late.
Don't be an after timer. Francis, thank you very much.
Cheers, fellas. Thanks a lot.
We'll see you soon. And I think that's us.
Yeah,
Denzel, you enjoyed yourself today?
I did. I think I might have found a new job.
Yeah. I feel as though we've got a bit of a thing as well, because you were finishing off my sentences.
I'm saying we just
vibe.
Makes sense.
There's a vibe.
Yeah, there's definitely a vibe. I think, bounce off each other. It makes sense.
There's good bars. And it's good bars, and it's goodbye from us. Denzel Bentley, British Middleweight champion. I'm sure we'll see you out soon. Anyone you want to just call out or slag off?
Every middleweight in the country and in the world. I'm joking.
There you go. You said it. We will see you Saturday night, 6:30. Do not miss it. BT Sport. Denzel, are you going to come?
Yeah, of course I'm going to be there.
Do you get to see Denzel in the crowd as well as all the great fights? We'll see you then.
Feel the energy when I walk in the building. Turn up to the max.
Sheeraz is the best young prospect we have in the UK.
I genuinely do think he will go all the way.
Capital, I'm about to make a killing. Stars of the line.
He's ready to go. Referee looks, he goes down.
Anyone who's got the world title, put me in with them.
I'ma be here for a while. Haters wait your turn in line.
And Lennox Clarke, he was on a mission. That is the performance of his career. That was a good shot from Heffron there. Heffron knows it. He knows that he's stunned him.
Young Dennis is on there too. He's in a tough fight. He's been stepped up.
I know I'm going to be world champion. I don't think I know.
In my head, I can go all the way.
Has to go down as an impressive win for Ryan Garner, getting the stoppage.
Now it's time that I show the world what a king is.